Leah, thanks so much for sitting down with me during this busy tax season. Hopefully it hasn't been too bad for you yet. You ready for the 15th deadline?
Of course, for it to be over.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, again, I'm really happy that we were able to sit down. I just wanted to give you a little demonstration of our HR platform. I know during this time it's a big evaluation starting out 2015 for your clients. So you're probably meeting face-to-face with a lot of them right now. So I want to make sure that you know what our HR 411 platform is all about, and you can see the platform for yourself.
Okay.
So ADP, obviously, we're based on integration, innovation, and compliance. So those are the biggest pieces, and those are the tickets to success. So those are the things that are going to help your client drive down that road and reach what they see as success. So hop on in the passenger seat with me. Let's take a little drive. And I want you to think back when your daughter, she's 25 now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she is.
so I want you to think back 10 years ago to when she got her permit.
Oh, goodness,
So,
okay.
yeah, so she went into the DMV, she read through that little pamphlet. If she's anything like me, she got about 8 wrong on the test, the maximum that you can get, hopped in the car, very excited, ready to go, and had no idea what she's doing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
a lot of small business owners today are in the same situation. You know, they came up with a service, a product, an idea that they're passionate about, but it's really hard for them to get to where they need to be. And who tells them what to do? How do they get there? You know, they have their federal ID number and their state ID number. And obviously you play a really key role in that success. So another piece to that is going to be ADP's HR platform. So the first piece is going to be ADP hiring. So ADP hiring is kind of like that permit test. So what it does is it is a service that is run by gethired.com, and it posts to various job websites. It produces a pre-screening ability, so you can either screen by video or have select questions that the potential employees have to apply to. And so this really streamlines the hiring process for new businesses or businesses that are looking to hire. And there's actually a statistic out by Forbes magazine that says only 20% of applicants who apply to a new job are eligible, so meet the minimum requirements. My mom, she's a preschool teacher, and prior to using ADP, she would post a Craigslist. She said she would get around 200 replies to a job posting.
Oh, wow.
So as a business owner, she doesn't have time to flip through all of those postings, you know, and if 20% of those are actually eligible, she has to go through 200 to get 40 resumes. That seems like a huge time crunch. And so for a business owner, this is a huge piece, saves them a ton of time and a ton of money. So if they're going individually to these sites, they're going to be paying $100, $200 per posting, and this is included in our service. So going hand in hand with ADP hiring is our hiring toolkits. So this is what I like to call our little black book. And so from the Run homepage, we can head into the hiring toolkit. And this is going to be a step-by-step guide of how to hire. So it's going to give them an offer letter, a rejection letter, an I-9 form, and all of the descriptions as to how to use these products. In addition, there is another feature called our HR Help Desk that I will talk about momentarily. But that goes hand in hand with this in helping your clients to learn how to hire someone and to start that road to success. So taking the permit test, she was probably really stressed out learning the rules of the road. This is their way to learn the rules of hiring and rules of business. So along this list, the hiring guide, the little black book that I was talking about, there's 18 steps. So it goes from everything, what does it mean to hire, a hiring overview, to questions, concerns, selecting a candidate. So this is a really great way to go through all the forms and policies involved in hiring without having to call an attorney or, yourself. How many clients would you say are looking to hire right now or are going through this process?
Probably all of them at one time or another.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a huge part to any business, whether it be 3 employees to 500 employees. So it's always an important thing to keep in mind. And I know that when a new business is starting out, much like a new driver, it's really scary and it's hard to navigate. And so coming here and checking out, our I-9 checklist, we have all the forms that you need. If you need any help, like I said, you're always available to call the help desk as well. Could you think of any clients who could benefit from this?
Yeah, definitely. Probably all of my clients.
Totally. Okay, well, let's hop on back to the platform. So your daughter, she has her permit.
Mm-hmm.
She's taken the test. She has it in hand, but she has no idea how to drive a car yet. So she goes to ABC driving school, whatever it may be, to take all the online modules and sit in with an instructor.
Okay.
So when she hops in the car, she's sitting next to the instructor. She's learning how to drive. They take her to an open area. She's driving along. She sees the yellow double lines in the center and the white lines on the side. So those yellow and white lines are very similar to the job descriptions within ADP's HR module. So the job descriptions are really means to keep a business in compliance. So within ADP's job description wizard, it's a way for your clients to check out automatically populated job descriptions. So these are common descriptions that we find are important to businesses, and these are all going to be in compliance. These can also be customized to whatever your clients need. So I know there are a lot of particulars in certain jobs in different industries. So there's a variety of industries and job postings available, and they can all be edited. And again, they can call the help desk to ensure that it's in compliance. So a big piece to this that a lot of people don't realize is a lot of clients don't think that job descriptions are necessary. They're like, oh, they're kind of menial, I can just post it online, whatever I think is necessary. And then as things come up, the job may change and they can roll with the punches. But there was one company actually in San Francisco that was a supermarket, and they hired an elderly man thinking, okay, fine, he's going to do the bagging. But as the position grew, he needed to do a lot of stocking jobs that required him to lift 50 pounds or more. And it wasn't in the job description when he was hired, but he wasn't able to complete the tasks that were required of him. So that put the company between a rock and a hard place. It's not grounds for termination, so they're not allowed to fire him because he can't complete this action because it wasn't in the job description. So it's really a way to not only keep your client safe, but keep other industries from getting to them. It's the laws of litigation, so it protects them from any lawsuits that could be coming in. It's a very proactive approach. How many of your clients would you say have job descriptions in place that are of compliance?
Oh, I would probably say not a lot.
Yeah.
No.
Do you have any supermarkets or anything that would fall into that category that might need job descriptions?
I have a couple of Ralph's supermarkets.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, so that might be a really good person to connect with and see if we could find a benefit here for them as well. So after we're in the seat with the driving instructor, it's time to take the wheel. So the business owners, they've gone through the hiring process. They've got their job descriptions out there, and it's time for them to really, grab the wheel and get started. So once they're in the driver's seat, they have that instructor sitting next to them, telling them what to do, acting kind of as, a helicopter parent.
Okay.
So I know in this day and age, a lot of people are like that, especially when driving. My mom was the biggest nag about everything. But honestly, it made me a better driver because of it. And sometimes that's just something that's necessary within driving and within a business. So as a business owner, when you're teaching your new employees to do their jobs, especially in management positions, if you're bringing someone on, you don't know what training they've had in the past, and whatever training you require may not fit the bill of what they've had in the past. And so for a business owner to have to take the time to train their employees on how to define benefits, how to describe to someone that they're hiring about compensation or, sexual harassment training, whatever that may be, there is a huge piece called HR training that's included in the module. So HR training is going to allow the employer to wash their hands of training situations such as, hiring, performance management, termination. So they can give their managers certain tasks to complete and modules online. So those managers can log in, complete any required courses, have a plan of action, and then you can train your employees and your managers on how to complete tasks that you don't want to waste your time doing. So that's definitely a huge piece to that. Do you think you have anyone who could save some time with using these modules instead of training their employees?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, maybe those Ralph stores as well. They could train their managers and,
Yeah.
fundamental of performance management. I'm sure that's huge for them.
Yes, definitely.
Great. So looking back into the HR 411, so your daughter, she has graduated from driving school. She knows the rules of the road. She's ready to go out on her own. One of the biggest things that people don't think about for the driving test is the parallel park. So it's not required by law anymore. You only have to back up 15 feet along the curb. But my mom, she made me double park that stupid Dodge Caravan every single day about 5,000 times. And I resented her every second while I was doing it. But now that I live in San Francisco, I can't imagine living a life without knowing how to parallel park. So for the employers, the employee handbook is very similar to a parallel park. It's not required by law in California, not in San Francisco, but with all of the changing rules and regulations that are out there, it's crazy to try and keep up with that and to not have any documentation. So when these laws are changing and they have no idea what changes are occurring, the only way for them to know is to be up to date, to, get some sort of information from the government. So with ADP, we have our employee handbook that is automatically updated, has push notifications, so your clients know of the job changes that occur and law, wages, etc. Immediately. So these push notifications are all sent directly to the employee handbook. And within that, they're actually every 3.5 seconds, a law changes. So how could you ever stay on top of that by yourself? There's no way. And so the Department of Labor actually has a statistic that 7 out of 10 businesses are out of compliance. So that seems insane to think that many businesses have no idea what's going on. But if you have a service like this, you'll be one of the 3.
Okay, great.
So it's always important to realize that although it's not required by law, it's a protection to put in place for your business. And it's always better to think proactively than reactively. Mm-hmm. So if you're reaching out to, for example, an attorney to create an employee handbook, typically costs around $2,000 to $3,000 just to put one together, and then probably an extra couple thousand to update that as well. So ADPs are automatically updated. They can customize, create their own employee handbook based on what they believe should be included. These are all of our benefits and descriptions that are included. They're around 300. And so your clients can choose which they want to include, whether that be about bereavement leave, life insurance, retirement plans, whatever they have in place. And then they can also customize all this information. So if they have, policies such as a cafeteria plan. I had a company, it's a tech company up in San Francisco that is just getting started with ADP, and they are looking for a cafeteria plan. And so we actually were able to call into the HR help desk together and determine what the best way to put that together is. Okay. So it's very simple. They can customize all of this. They can export it online so that all of their employees can view it and sign it electronically. So the last piece is going to be our background checks. So within ADP, background checks are kind of like the airbags in your car. Mm-hmm. So to protect your business, you want to make sure that you hire the right people and that you have the best people possible working for you. So as much as we want to have faith in those who work for us and, on a referral basis, that's just not the world today, and it's important to protect your business. So, for example, I had a client who had was hiring based off of referrals. So he was a construction guy. He had several people working for him, asked another guy to come on board who knew several of his employees, and he actually ended up stealing from him and selling to the flea market. And so he was losing all these tools, finding them in the flea market, and he realized that it was actually one of his employees. So had he done one of the background checks, which typically cost around $25, and 25 of them are included in our package. So that's $500 right there that your clients are saving. And then the final piece is going to be our HR help desk. I talked about that a little bit in the very beginning and just a few moments ago. So the HR help desk is a team of professionals that are certified to the highest degree on both the federal and the state level. and they have access to a slew of resources to answer any questions that your clients may have. They're open from 5:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So clients can call in with a question as simple as, can I fire this person? How should I go about firing this person? Can you send me a termination letter? To something more complicated, like how do I formulate a cafeteria plan? They're there for you. They're there to help. So I'm sure a lot of the questions that you might get on a day-to-day basis, or they might call their attorney for, can be deflected to the HR help desk. So this is definitely a huge piece, and it's actually, for this month, we have a promotion going where you have free access, and we're going to give 5 of your clients that are currently with ADP free access as well. So
nice.
if they don't have our HR 411 package, they can check out our HR help desk and see how it can benefit them moving forward.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely. So I would love to connect with your Ralph stores. I think they would really benefit from not only the job descriptions, but the employee handbook and the hiring toolkit as well. So I feel like the best way is to do an email introduction. So would you like to start drafting that?
Yeah, let's do that now.
Perfect.